All right, let's talk AI. For the longest time, it really felt like a one-horse race, right? We all knew who was in the lead. Well, according to a huge new report, that whole race, it's just been completely upended.
Yeah, it was a pretty simple story. You'd think of AI, you'd think of the United States, you'd think of Silicon Valley. They were the undisputed champs, the ones building the future, one model at a time. It was just a given.
And then, bam, Stanford drops its latest AI index report, and it's a total bombshell. Everything we thought we knew, it's been flipped on its head. This is not a solo sprint anymore, not by a long shot.
Okay, so let's get into the first big takeaway here. This is a truly historic shift. And I'm not talking about just, small steps forward. No, this is a massive leap, one that basically redefines the entire competitive landscape.
And this right here, this is the headline from the report. It's a really powerful statement. When they say China has effectively closed the gap, they're not exaggerating. This comes from some serious, rigorous testing. That big performance lead the US used to have, poof, it's gone.
And look, this isn't just some abstract idea. The proof is right there in the pudding. We're seeing Chinese models like DeepSeek R1 going head-to-head with the absolute best from the US. You've got models from giants like Alibaba and Zippu just dominating the global leaderboards. And they're not just good, they're competitive in stuff that used to be the exclusive playground for Western labs. We're talking PhD-level science, advanced math, you name it.
But hold on, this isn't just a simple story of out with the old, in with the new. It's way more complicated than that. What we're really seeing is a tale of two titans, right? And each one is playing a completely different game with its own unique strengths.
So let's talk about the US. The key thing to remember is the money. They are still an absolute powerhouse when it comes to funding. I mean, look at that number, $286 billion in private AI investment just last year. That makes the US, by a huge margin, the biggest financial backer of AI on the planet. Okay, this table really breaks it down and shows the different strategies at play. It's super interesting. The US is all about that massive investment, right? They're focused on creating those top-tier, super advanced models and getting the most high-impact patents. Plus, their data center infrastructure is just unmatched. China, though, they're playing a volume game. They're turning out the highest total number of models, filing the most patents overall, and they're way ahead when it comes to actually using AI in the real world, like with all those industrial robots.
All right, so we've talked about the big picture, the competition between nations. But how does all this affect actual people, on the ground level? Let's look at who's actually using this stuff, how it's changing the job market, and where the smartest minds in AI are choosing to go.
And this is where things get really surprising. You'd think the US, with all that investment, would be leading in adoption, right? Well, nope, not even close. Just look at Singapore and the UAE. More than half the people there are already using generative AI. The US, it's way down at 28%. It just goes to show how fast other parts of the world are jumping on this technology.
And this is where it might start to hit a little closer to home for some of us. If you're just starting your career, especially in tech, things are changing fast. See, while there's more demand for senior developers, those entry-level jobs, they're disappearing. We've seen a 20% drop in young software developers in the US. Why? Well, AI tools are making experienced devs so productive that it's getting way harder for newcomers to even get their foot in the door.
Okay, this number is, honestly, it's pretty staggering. This might be one of the most alarming stats in the whole report. An 80% drop, year over year, in top AI researchers coming to the US. Think about that. That pipeline of global talent that was the lifeblood of American innovation, it's facing a massive disruption. This is a huge long-term risk.
So, with all this incredible progress happening at lightning speed, there's a big, growing problem we have to talk about. The race to make AI more and more capable is moving way, way faster than our ability to make it safe and responsible.
And I mean, this chart says it all, doesn't it? The number of documented AI incidents, we're talking everything from deepfakes and misinformation to major security breaches. It's not just going up, it's accelerating. Look at that jump in just 1 year. That's a scary trend.
So what's going on here? Why is this happening? Well, for starters, the tools we have to even measure AI safety are seriously lagging behind how powerful these models are getting. And there's this tough trade-off, too. Sometimes, when you try to lock a model down and make it safer, you actually hurt its performance. To top it all off, the report says that how companies are even reporting on their own safety measures is spotty. And that's putting it mildly. So let's put all these puzzle pieces together, right? You've got the performance gap closing, you've got these two titans with totally different strategies, and you've got this growing safety problem. What does it all add up to? A brand new global reality, one that's all about national interests and some really intense competition.
And that brings us to a really important term you're going to hear a lot more: AI sovereignty. What is it? It's basically the idea that if a country wants to be a real player in the 21st century, it can't afford to depend on another nation's tech. You have to build it, own it, and control it yourself. And this isn't just a theory. We're seeing it happen all over the world. Countries are rolling out these huge national strategies, like the EU's AI Continent Action Plan. They're pouring cash into building up their own AI infrastructure. And the result? We're heading towards a much more fragmented, less centralized AI world.
So if you take away just one single thing from all this, let it be this. The old story, the simple one about a single AI superpower leading the pack, that story is over. It's officially a thing of the past.
What we have now is something much more complex, much more unpredictable. We are in a multipolar world. That means there are multiple hubs of AI power, and they're all competing, sometimes collaborating, all trying to get an edge in a future that's literally being written as we speak.
And that really leaves us with the biggest question of all, doesn't it? As this technology just keeps growing exponentially and it's happening in so many different countries, who gets to decide the rules of the road? Who sets the ethical guardrails? In this brand new era of AI, who is writing the rules?